Hello, everyone. So it's been a few weeks since my last video, so there's a lot to talk about. So remember last video I made, Bitcoin was sort of going up probably in this area. And then I think I think Trump started announcing tariffs and that started tanking the market. Bitcoin went down a bit, but it didn't really go down that much compared to uh, the altcoins for the most part. So basically, we've seen since several weeks ago just Bitcoin's dominance just going up steadily until it kind of accelerated towards this area. That was probably 2 weeks ago. It hit the top of the channel. It got rejected. Then it's been sort of correcting to the downside for the past week or so. Now it's attempting to bounce a little bit on the 2021 EMA, and there's a potential for reversal to the upside again to hit this upper channel, and it's most likely going to bounce to the downside from there and perhaps visit the lower end of the channel, or it could also break above this area and there could be even higher to go if it, finds support on the upper channel and then goes up until some it hits like some kind of resistance, which honestly I'm not quite sure what the resistance would be, but um let's take a guess here. Let's take some educated guess here. So if it breaks above the channel, most likely 70 would be a good number to look for because a lot of times prices or even Bitcoin dominance likes to, bounce off of round numbers. So 70% is a good round number to bounce off of before correction or even the previous high of around 73%. So there's a lot to go if Bitcoin dominance wants to continue to go up and breaks above the channel. Um, and most of this is due to the fact that altcoin has become a graveyard, just red across the board. And that's because we're currently in a risk-off environment where people are selling off their risky assets and either stay in cash or if they do buy assets, they're going to buy assets that are larger market cap and that has more trust. People trust more. People have more confidence in. And Bitcoin, of course, is one of those that people have a high confidence in. The other ones are XRP, um, and a few other ones like Solana probably would also fit in that category. See, XRP is just it didn't correct that much, and then now it's attempting to bounce up and then hitting a short-term resistance around here. It might correct a little bit for the next few days, and I do expect it to outperform the rest of the market. And if the market becomes bullish, then it's gonna head to the upside to the previous resistance before, and then eventually break above and go to all-time highs. So the most profitable strategy that I've come across that has been incredibly good for me is that we want to start longing Bitcoin and other bullish assets like XRP. And the other one also it's OM, which is uh, Mantra DAO. I believe that's the full name of that. And we'll take a look at that later. But either do some leverage trades on these assets or we buy spots so that we don't have any um, chance of getting liquidated in case some of these assets want to dump, especially if like there's more fear in the markets and that leads to huge liquidation candles. Like even XRP is not immune to liquidation. Like even though it bounced, it closed green in this candle, it went all the way down to 1.77 dollars, which wow, that's probably a 30% correction if you count the low from the top to the low, um, something like that. And so here's a winning strategy I've been playing. So we got to short the shit coins. So basically, because altcoins are so the sentiment on altcoins is so like terrible right now, and I simply don't see any catalyst to make altcoins bullish again as a whole until we have something to stimulate the economy, like say uh, quantitative easing, like reducing interest rates, like lower inflation rates, and even the Fed injecting money through stimulus into the economy, right? So none of these things are happening, especially last week, the inflation report once again shows us that inflation is not going down yet, likely because of the tariffs that are threatening to come in possibly soon. And um, yeah, that's inflationary. But Trump has also said that he will reduce taxes on the citizens, potentially even reducing the income tax or completely eliminate income tax, which will actually reduce the impact of inflation. I don't think it will actually reduce inflation, but effectively it will make people have more money so that they can buy more goods, so inflation won't hurt them as much. So, um, effectively, that could um, reduce inflation on the back end, but on paper, it may not seem that inflation is going down. So we'll see how that pans out in terms of how that affects the Fed decision. But anyways, so we're looking at shitcoins like Butthole. Butthole is a good example of a shitcoin to short, because this is a copycat of the fart coin. Farcoin was doing extremely well during the bull cycle or the bull period several weeks ago, but now it's been dumping. And Farcoin, also is a good short right now because meme coins like that don't have good fundamentals are just completely getting destroyed. And what's even better about Butthole in terms of shorting is that it's a copycat of Farcoin, and Farcoin is already a shitcoin, and a Butthole, because it's a copycat, it has even less fundamentals. Arguably has less fundamentals than Farcoin. So I started shorting Farcoin around this area, uh, and since then it's dumped. Let's see, about 80%. When I short, I don't use that much leverage. I don't put too much money at risk, because we're still technically in the overall bullish crypto cycle. And if there's some bullish news to drive up the altcoins, then I could get liquidated. So I put a small amount at risk when shorting it at this resistance right here. Then now I'm still in the trade, 80% down. So I'm making good money on this trade when shorting. Barcoin also, I started shorting, I think around this area. Like I started shorting here, but I closed the short down here. and then I opened to short again here, and now it's still dumping. And potentially other good coins to look at are things like Chain. Even though Chain, I believe, does have good fundamentals because altcoins are getting killed right now, and Chain has um, airdropped a lot of tokens recently. It's a new launch, and I believe a lot of the supply is already available for people to sell. So there's a lot of downward pressure. And as we saw with Venice, I learned that because Venice had a huge airdrop, it started dumping down. Let's say if you simply shorted on the closing candle of the first day, which is a big red candle, which is a bearish sign, if you were able to short here and then sell at the bottom or buy back at the bottom, you could have shorted 75% down, which is great profit. Good hedge against the the dying altcoins right now. So yeah, I've been able to see a lot of good, basically money-making opportunities as the altcoins are bleeding to oblivion here. Um, like I said, I'm accumulating XRP and Bitcoin because I do believe that Bitcoin dominance will continue to go up um, in the near future, especially because the all these big companies and governments and even the US government are just talking about accumulating Bitcoin, which means that this is like a Bitcoin super cycle. And whether or not this is an altcoin super cycle, that remains to be seen. Currently, it doesn't seem like that. Maybe that'll be the next cycle, but currently it's just like all Bitcoin. I think in order for altcoins to have a super cycle, they will need regulation, and which is what the US government is working on. And what the regulation will do is that for the the altcoins that meet the requirements of the regulation will then go up. It'll be a super cycle for that subset of altcoins. So we'll see which ones that'll be. XRP will probably be one of them. Solana will probably be one of them. Probably Link as well. And then any coin, like any shit coin that falls outside of the regulation that is deemed probably illegal, then those altcoins will go to zero. So I think there's also that reason why altcoins are dumping right now because while people know that once regulation comes in, there's a chance that most of the altcoins, which is probably in the millions, probably 5 or 10 million altcoins at this uh, point, most of them will just go to zero. So right now, it's good to short these cryptos, and that has been my winning strategy. Let's see what other uh it's gonna show this coin. So I just want to show this potentially good coin. Well, first of all, I just want to show Bearer Chain, what I did. So you can see I shorted on this candle, this candle, this candle when it keeps going down. And then I bought back near the lows. Um, and I shorted here. And I actually closed most of my position. Now I'm like, there's only $2 left in my margin. It was 100 before. I made probably $100 on this coin. Uh, so the reason why I closed this trade is that the funding rate is becoming really high. So a regular funding rate is about 0.01%. Now 0.01 is the normal percentage, and then 0.05 is a very high percentage. So when I see that, I closed my position because there's too many people taking this short position. So I rather close out of this to avoid any potential of short liquidation. And then I start shorting other coins that um, have lower funding rates so that it's much safer to short those coins. So one coin that I'm looking at potentially is this coin. This is like a such a terrible shit coin because apparently Javier Milei, who is a president of Argentina, he, as far as I know, is a really good president, by the way. But I don't think he understands crypto. So he thought that this Libra token was a good token. He was like, "Oh, this token is going to help, Argentinian business and economies." For some reason, he believed that, but he realized he hasn't done enough research on this coin. So he realized this might be a scam, and people told him so. Like he actually posted on X originally to pump this token, but he deleted that post. And this coin, I believe, is this the right one? Oh, point. I'm not sure which one. Let me try to find the right one. I think this is it. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, I was right on the right one. I just didn't know that. So here's a chart for this token on the daily. Initially it pumped all the way to $4.5. Now it's dumped to 0.26 cents. And the market cap is at $260 million market cap. So I feel like even though it's dumped so much, there is a huge potential for a bigger dump. The air has already came out of this bubble and there's more to go. There's this zero is basically the target, I believe, for something like this. Um, and let's see here. So when this candle closes red, I'm gonna short like somewhat of a small position using $50 as a margin on a 4x leverage. And this has a 0.02% funding rate negative, um, which isn't tiny, but is not big either. So I'm gonna go short this position if it becomes a red candle. And if there's another red candle tomorrow, then I'm gonna short again with probably 25 or $50 additional margin and then let it ride maybe probably 80 or 90% dump and then I'll close my position. Or if the funding rate starts skyrocketing, then I'll also close the position. But it's having these short positions during times like this, and then longing the strong coins like XRP and Bitcoin that has helped me uh gain back some of my losses because I was really heavy into altcoins before all this happened. Say like 5 weeks ago, my altcoin bags were pumping like crazy, but now I took a huge loss like most people did. But then I switched my strategy to become more profitable. And unless something big changes, I think this is going to be the trend from now on, in the near future. So yeah, see if there's any other good coins to short. Probably Brownie would be a good one. Just some like shitcoin, meme coin, doggo coin. Um, so anyways. Yeah, I hope what I said makes sense. And yeah, Trump's tariff threats and implementation of tariffs and as well as like the Fed fund rate not looking good, inflation not looking good. All these things coming together are just creating this massive downward pressure on cryptos, and that's what we have to deal with it for now. So let's change our strategy to make money even in this environment. So thank you all for listening, and bye bye.